10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Hello, my friends in Sasquatch Land. It is I, Chris from Discover Sasquatch, and then yet another Tuesday night. And do we have a great show for you all tonight? My friend Angie is back with us once again for the third time, Snow White Bigfoot. It's always a pleasure to talk to Angie. She has so much stuff going on at her place, and at the moment, Jim is in the backyard with the thermal camera chasing critters around, and Angie might have to leave us a couple of times during the broadcast to go make sure everything is going all right. But just to let everybody know in case she disappears. Let's see what we got. I just want to let everybody know our new video will be out by the end of this week. We're taking our time with this. We had an interaction at our area called Rock Throw Alley, and we were surrounded by 4 of them. We had the triangle guys in front of us, and we had the 6 in back. It was pretty crazy, 20 minutes, and we're just making sure we get that video right. So a couple other things I'd like to touch on. I'd like everybody to, we're doing a website, and we have Mr. Gary Schutte. He is actually designing it for us, and he has a site called Show Me Bigfoot, where it lists every investigator, researcher, I think, in the world or in the United States. He puts a lot of work into it. And if you could all go there and just check it out and find out who's around your area and maybe contact them and leave him a little donation. You know, he's not asking for it, but he puts a lot of work and a lot of time, and he deserves a little recognition, and send him a little care package. So with that all being said, we are going to get on with the night, and we are going to bring Angie on. Hello, my friend. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. It's very nice to see you. And thank you for coming back to see everybody once again on Discover Sasquatch. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. And hello, everybody that's tuned in.
Yeah, let's say a big hello to everybody. We got our friend Nayanta from India's in the house, and we got Miss Terry Scalero and Ms. Donna Stokes. Boots on the Ground is one of our moderators. She's here with us tonight. Blue-Eyed Northern. She is with us as always, too. Good evening to everybody. And let's get this show started. As everybody's seen this week, that Mr. Christopher Noel put out a little documentary, and Angie had a big part in it. And she had some pretty amazing footage of a I don't know, mid-sized Sasquatch laying in the bush as she walked by, and he actually zoomed in on it, and you could see the eye blink, and and the fingers move. I'd like to get touch a little bit on that and have Angie explain the situation, how that all came about, and what her thoughts were on that.
Yeah. It's funny because I was talking to Chris as I was editing and finding this stuff, and I'd send him pictures. And like when I found the fingers, I said, I think I see fingernails. I said, am I crazy or what? And he goes, if that isn't fingernails, then I'm not a whatever aging old, man. I forget exactly how he said it, but yeah, we were having that conversation. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. It's like the fact that it caught anything, because it was in 2017. I was using some kind of crappy camera on my phone, walking and recording behind me. So I can't believe it caught anything, let alone movement of fingers. And you can see the shine on the fingernails. They're black. And you can see them going like this.
Right. And when he focused on that eye blinking, that's just unreal. I mean, that you walked right. How do you think they hid from you that good when you were walking by him? I mean, it was right next to you.
Well, the guy, the farmer that leases the land, mows the field in August. I think this was, I'm not sure, September. I don't know. But anyways, at the edge, it wasn't mowed, so they could hide in the tall grass at the edge. And that's what they were doing. They were following me and getting up in that grass. And as I go by, they'd peek out, I guess. So
did you hear anything or smell anything or nothing? Just
nope.
A regular stroll down the old embankment.
And I didn't even find it for, what was it, 5 years?
Yeah, that's
4
funny.
years. And then I walked by what I call the belly crawler, and then as you go around the edge of the field, there's a little one, and you can even see it. You can see its facial movement, and it even smiles. It looks like it smiles as I go by, and its hand goes like this.
No, is Chris using Adobe too? Is he using the Adobe programs to get all this, or?
Yeah, I don't know what he uses to edit, actually.
Right. Because since you've been using the Adobe, the comparison stuff that you've been coming up to is just unreal.
Yeah, I like to do that side by side.
Yeah, so much dedication you show, so much documentation. I mean, this you set the example for people if they want to really, really approach this subject as it should be. A documentation, and it does help having them at your house too. It does, you know what I mean? It does help. But I mean, it's really amazing. And I know I've said it over and over again, but if anybody wants to learn how to document these guys and how to approach research, Angie is definitely someone that you should keep your eye on because she's amazing. And now the stuff that she's coming out with is just, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to put out what she's putting out for everybody to see. And it's just amazing. And you guys really should check it out because it's a lot of work. I can vouch for it. And it was just amazing. We're going to get into some of those pictures later as we go along. Last time Angie was on, I couldn't see. So thank you for hanging with me the last 2 times I couldn't see very well. But this time I can see 85%. So we're good. But we are going to touch base on some of Angie's old footprints and handprints that she got. And then we are going to move on to the stuff she just got recently, which is out of this world, mind-blowing, crazy. And then at the end of the show, we will do some answering and questions and answers. And that's how we're going to approach the night here. So I am going to post a footprint picture, one of my favorite ones, and it's actually in the opener. It's going to take me a little bit to put it on. It's actually Angie's foot right next to a beautiful print. And I'm going to post it. I'm sorry, everybody. I got the pictures over to the right of me here because StreamYard, the pictures that I have to look at are so tiny But here's the print. As
Yeah.
y'all can see, that's a beautiful Sasquatch footprint right next to Angie's print. And well, what's the story on this one?
Well, actually, the prints had been out there a few days. There were two sizes. Actually, there was, I think, a 10-inch, and then this one was about 14 inches. And the first one I found was the 10-inch, and it had like you could see where it walked through the garden. This one obviously was bigger, and it looked like it stepped in, and then it turned to its left and stepped back out of the garden. It had a really big gate too.
Well, do you remember the exact measurements on that?
It was 14. I'm not sure about the width.
Right. It looks like it's almost, I don't know, it's got to be 6.5, 7 inches at the least, right?
It was really wide, yeah.
Right. And that's right out your back door.
Yep, right. I don't know, 30 feet from the house.
Right.
But I didn't find them right away because I was working, and I hadn't gone over there and looked, And I came home one day and it was like, oh, they weren't fresh, I was so upset. But they was still a good print, but I couldn't cast it or anything like that.
Right. I'm gonna post another one here. And do you find, Angie, that they come to the house more often when you're not home or when you're home?
Actually, lately it's been when we're here and we talk about it. It's like, well, I was just telling you before the show how Amy was growling, and we think one came up to the porch and went right under the window because the marbles were messed with. And Jim's like, that's really brave. It was during the day. We were right here. And yeah, so they've been, it seems like the more they get comfortable, they do come up during the day a lot. Now, when it first started, I think things happened mostly at night. But then things started happening during the day, and it's like blowing my mind because it's like they came up here during the day.
Right.
And now it's just like common.
Right. So do you think you're part of you're part of the family? Do you think that now? I think they trust you guys, you and Jim, so much that
Yeah.
they're not even worried.
Yeah. I mean, they still do that not letting you see them thing. So I don't know if they're going to ever let us actually. That's like my end goal. I want to have direct interaction instead of indirect interaction.
Well, I think you got a pretty good chance of that happening. I really do.
I keep thinking that the little one, like the baby that you're going to show later, the prints I just found.
Yep.
If it's coming up and being real comfortable from the time it's little, I'm hoping that one will be more accepting.
Right.
Okay, that print right there was at the corner of the garage, right next to our Sharon bush. It was 17 inches long. And I think what happened was, I can't remember all the details, but I think for a while, because I found it more than once there, it was standing there where it had a little bit of cover, while maybe another one went to the porch, which was just right around the corner. Like it kept a lookout or something. Because if I remember right, I think things happened at the porch too when that happened. But that was a nice print.
Well, something with a 17-inch. There's it again, right? Yep, that's right at 17 inches. Yep.
That one might be the 18-inch one. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I can't see. I'm not sure if that's the same one. What's the date?
18. It's 18 inches. That's 18.
Because there was one right behind me. The biggest one I found in our yard was 18 inches, and it was right back here. That first one that was 17 inches was over by the garage.
Right. Now, were you home at this time that this all happened, or was this a time you guys weren't around?
Well, like I would get up and I go outside. You know how I do my rounds every day,
mm-hmm.
at least once. as long as I'm feeling good. And I just check things, and I just, I found prints walking into the yard, and then that one was obviously right beside that bush.
Right.
So I think that happened during the night.
Something with an 18-inch footprint has to be mammoth. Has to be at least, I don't know, 9-10 feet. It's got to be at least 10 feet tall.
Yeah, I figure that's probably the Big Daddy. That's what I call him.
And how often does he make his presence around the house?
It used to be a little more often. I would find bigger prints up here, but well, we just had that gigantic handprint on the trash can not long ago. Now, I don't know if that was him or if it was another one, but it was 11 inches long. So there's a big guy right out there, right next to the porch.
Right.
So,
Which one do you think visits your house the most?
I think juveniles come up the most and do the messing around. But at first, I don't know if you have these, if you got these footprints or not. The first couple years, there was a 9.5 inch print in the yard a lot. But also there was a 13.5 inch, which would probably be, I was thinking like maybe the mom. But I would find those prints right in front of the railing where they had been messing with stuff. So there's been, I have found 12 inch, 4 inch, 18, 17, 13.5, 14.
How about the one that you found in the sandbox that time, that little tiny baby footprint? How big was that?
That was like 4 inches long, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a crazy print.
The one that was just on the window of the car was even smaller than that, I think. It was more like 3 inches.
Wow.
We'll show that later.
Do you think you think that's a newborn? I mean, it's just all your opinion, obviously, but do you think that's a newborn?
I think that was an infant being carried by a sibling or by the mom, one of the two.
And they're coming into your garage.
Yeah.
With the babies. Now, what do you think? Remember, I got a question for you. Remember when the statue of the female disappeared and you thought something happened to her? Do you think that she went away and gave birth and then came back with the little one, and that's the one you're seeing now?
It didn't disappear. I went out there one day and they had turned it over, face down, because I had like different sizes, and that one would have represented the mama. And we got out there and it was turned over, and we were like, what does that mean? Did somebody die or what? And then I think I put it back face up or whatever, and they knocked it off the railing. It was on the ground the next day. And then I forget the whole progression of everything, but there was this wooden sign that I had out there laying on the table, and they brought an oak leaf, put the mama on the oak leaf, and they put a rock beside her head. It was like a flat rock about that big. And it's like they were definitely communicating to me something about that mama, which we think maybe she died. Because also at that time, things changed around here. Like the whole group got quiet. They used to do vocalizations a lot. And then it just kind of got quiet. So it's like, did the hierarchy change? But you would think more that it would be the Big Daddy or whatever. Mm-hmm. If he died, you would think there would be more of a change like that. But we were just discussing this the other night, Jim and I. And we were like, well, maybe if the mama died, maybe the mama is the one that makes the rules and the dad enforces it.
Right.
But it's just like somebody said, okay, now things are changing and you're going to be quiet. But somebody's given birth because there's just that new infant in the garage. So
Right.
is that a
Right.
new one? I don't know. I wish I knew for sure, but my feeling is something happened to the mama.
Right.
And we had that audio not long before that of the moaning and wailing going on down in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little bit prior to all this stuff happening with the mama doll.
Well, with all that being said, you're probably pretty close to that's pretty close, and that's sad.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
sad. It reminds me of a lion pride almost. The male lion, he defends his stuff, and the female lions raise the pack. And the head and the oldest lioness, or whatever, is that what they call them? She runs the pride. She runs the family. She's the boss. So.
Yeah, I mean, it never occurred to me up until the other night when we were talking about it that maybe the matriarch makes the rules.
Yep.
Patriarch enforces them.
Right.
So
Yep.
who knows? But
yeah, no, I think you're very close. I feel the same way.
do you?
I feel that the male, the alpha male, he runs the territory. He's always patrolling.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that keeps peace. He's the one that keeps all the others out. There's a challenger that comes in. He's going to fight that challenger. I mean, that's what you get
Right.
after the stuff you see, and you can put one and one together.
And they do seem to, the alpha male seems to be more reserved. And like we were talking about, it doesn't come up quite as often, but it does. I mean, there are huge prints in the yard, so they do come up, but it seems like they kind of stay off.
Right. Did you find his prints more often when she maybe passed? I'm just going to say she passed. Was he around more often then, or was it?
No, I'd say I found those prints more before that.
Okay. Load this one up here. It's very interesting, Angie, and I thank you for sharing your thoughts on this, because everybody always says you don't have one living in your garage. Well, actually, Angie has them in her garage, and
Kind of do, huh?
yeah. And if anybody wouldn't know who to ask, yeah, I would ask you. I would definitely ask you for sure. Now I lost the one I was going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, all I can do is tell you what goes through my mind, and it's guesswork, but it's kind of an educated guess because of what you observe. So
Right.
yeah.
It's an IMO. It's your opinion, and
Mm-hmm.
either people want to listen to your opinion or they can choose not to listen. But
Mm-hmm.
if anybody in my book wants to learn, your opinion definitely matters. And where did that little print go? You just talked about the little one. Now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. All right, let me see if I can get it now. Sorry, everybody. It's a little hassle to get the prints on, but I'll get them. All right, here it comes. So what does Jim think? What you said you and Jim were talking about the other night. What does he think that happened?
You mean with the mama?
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels the same way I do about it. That it seems like she probably died or something.
What was that?
I don't know.
Something just slapped the house or threw the house. Jim's right there because I can see him in the mirror.
Jim?
What was that hit the house?
I don't know, because I was yapping.
Look at my hand. Look at the hair on my arm just sticking straight up right now.
It was right there at that window beside me.
Yeah, it does it every time we talk.
Right there, that window. Right outside there.
Oh, you could hear it loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Something hit the house.
They've been doing that a lot the last couple weeks.
All right, so everybody watch the window in back of Angie's, because Angie, you never know what's going to pop up back there.
Trying to get, darn it.
Did you get Jim on the thermal? Send him outside?
He went outside. I don't know what. I
Uh,
don't know if he had it or not.
I seen him get up. You can see him in the mirror in back of you. You see him. So I know it wasn't Jim in the backyard doing that. I can see him.
No, he's standing right there.
Live on Discover Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
Caught it here. Live action at the porch. All right, I'm going to show this one.
Oh my
Or
gosh,
do you
he's
want to?
out there.
You want to go outside? Go ahead.
No,
Well,
I can't believe he's out there.
that was cool. I love it. I love it. I love the rock tosses. We
Yeah.
just had a bunch of them at us 2 weekends ago on the top of that mountain. Bunch of them. It was crazy. All right, I'm going to show the print. I pulled it up here.
Okay.
I think this is one of the little ones.
That one was out back in the field. I think that one was more like 12 inches, if I am remembering. Yeah, it was in the field.
Yeah, that's one of the smaller ones that I have. All right. Let's see if anybody heard that. Did anybody else hear that out in chat land? Did you guys hear that hit the house?
I'm having a hard time seeing because.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yep, they heard it.
Did
Yes.
they? Cool.
That was pretty exciting stuff. Only on Discover Sasquatch does this stuff happen. No, I'm just
See
joking.
anything, Jim?
No, but I only went to the edge of the house.
Oh, he said he didn't go very far.
I don't blame them. They're throwing stones. I'm not going too far away from the house either.
I don't know if they threw something or hit the house.
Isn't that funny? Because remember I told you at the beginning when we were talking earlier, something's going to come up and slap the house.
You did.
Remember that? I said that,
Yeah.
and it did. That's crazy. Yeah. That happens a lot. All right, I'm going to show a pathway in the mud here next.
Okay.
And then it's a classic Sasquatch pathway. And we'll get it on. I think that's an awesome story. I think it's a very interesting story about what with the mother and it's like they made a gravestone and covered her with the leaf, the oak leaf. And
Yeah. I still don't know exactly what that meant, but it felt very like a memorial type deal,
right. So here's a question. Have you guys ever ventured in the back of the woods and looked for a mound or something back there that maybe?
No, I haven't been able to get in the woods a lot because of my health in the last year or so, but I'm trying. I'm working hard to get better so I can get back in the woods because I miss it so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, what blew my mind with that too is that they were definitely communicating. They were telling me something that went on for sure. It's like they thought enough of me to let me know something important happened,
Right. Oh yeah, they definitely showed you. They definitely showed you in a way they thought would, and it did. It sunk in. You know exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Out here. Well, you go and then we'll show this after.
That's why I like having those dolls out there that represent them and that represent us, because they can use those to communicate stuff to us. I think that's really important. I wish everybody would do that.
Right.
That's why I took Rick, when we went down to his house, I took him a set of dolls that I made like mine. And I found a doll that kind of looked like him. I couldn't find, an exact one, but I took him that doll too. And they actually, I think, took that doll, the one that looked like him.
Right.
So
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it at our area. I'm gonna try it. See what happens. I actually have a piece of the porch right here on my microphone stand. If you guys can't see it, Angie was kind enough to send me this. This was a little guide that they used in the back.
Yeah, they took the little arm and bent it up like it was waving.
Yeah, and I got them all right here on my microphone stand. And it's awesome. All right, now we're going to show the trackway here. Is the next one.
Yep, that was down at the lake.
That's down. Now, how far is the lake from? I mean, does that give away your area, or can you talk about how far the lake?
It's within 2 miles. It's really close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever they let the water out in the winter, the lake bed is exposed. And they like to go down there, I think, because I found prints there several times. And there are a lot of lily pads and things like that there that I think they like to dig them up. Actually, I heard we went to a Bigfoot conference and there was that primatologist there talking about what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things is lily roots.
Oh yeah, yep.
But also there you'll find those freshwater clams or mussels or whatever they are. There you'll find them opened all over the place, and there'll be prints right beside it with the in a hole dug. So I think they like to go in there and get that food and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that myself, so I agree with you 100% on that.
Mm-hmm. And that's like back in off of the main road where there aren't a lot of people go. I mean, people do go there, but I found prints in the woods there too. I started exploring across the road from where I found those tracks. And what's interesting about the one you found is that they're in a straight line. That's how Bigfoot tracks are. They don't have the sides like
right.
They're more like right in line.
They walk like a fashion model because of their hips.
Like a tightrope walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I got a question for you right here. Angie, do you still have Chris's rock?
I do. It's right out there on the front porch.
You want to share everybody a little bit with everybody what's happened with that rock since you've had it?
Oh, I was just looking. See, I think it was out for a while, and they move it for a couple times, and then they took it, and then they brought it back. Then they kept moving it down off the porch. Then more recently, they just took it from where I keep it up on that crock down by the post where the marbles are. And they took it and laid it down there. It's just like every once in a while, they'll just mess with it and move it. But they did have it for a day or two. They took it.
Do you think there's a tie that they can tell that was gifted to somebody else? Do you think that's possible? I mean that's a out of this world question, but just an IMO.
It's hard to tell, but I mean it's possible because they can tell with smells. I don't know. It's possible. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think it's very possible, and I think like I have pieces of a lot of gifting areas here in my little room here, and it's I don't know. I think that they know. I just believe they know.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got some pictures of the mud at some more of your mud pictures from the lake. So we'll share those. Where's the reel? Here's a good one. I still can't get over that thing hitting the house.
So I'm listening.
Yeah, me too. I think that killed the whole show. Everybody's listening for something to hit the house.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking this was the same time as that line that you just showed. There were a bunch of big, and I didn't measure them, but I did get pictures, and there were a lot of large prints there, really good ones. It was obvious what they were. So
a lot of people don't. Oops, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all.
A lot of people don't understand when you get this interaction or you find something of theirs, the adrenaline takes over and you don't think of every little thing. It's just, you're like a little schoolgirl or school kid. You're on and that's how I act. My adrenaline kicks in and I'm like a giddy.
Get excited.
And then you forget about everything. I have a
tape measure with me though at that point, but
right. Oh, I know. You have it right with you, and you just never think about it. It's just All right, so let's get into a couple of the handprints here, and then we're gonna move on to the new stuff.
Okay.
Let's go to the grill first. Get the one off the grill here. Now the grill is famous. Has
Yeah.
that been replaced, or is that you have a new grill, or is that
Got a new grill and it's in the garage, and they haven't really messed with it. So I miss it though. I miss the grill interactions.
Yeah, that was a lot though. When you first started, that grill was a main target of theirs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they were always putting something in there. Or yeah, that was a fairly good size one. It was not as big as the one on the trash can, but yeah, I was on the grill.
Yep.
And I mean, that's what it seems like. I get more handprints than I do footprints. I have gotten so many handprints around the house here that it's just insane. And you would never think that would happen. But
There's nobody that has the collection of prints that you have, and that's why it was so important to do this tonight. There's nobody that I know of, and believe me, I read a lot, I look at a lot, I watch a lot, and there is nobody, like I said, that has them living in their house, their garage, like you do. And the stuff that you have is just amazing. Now look at this.
Yeah, that was on the front porch, and that was a pretty good sized one too. It was probably more like, I don't know, 9 inches. I can't remember if I measured that one or not, but pretty decent size. And they were right up there on the front porch. It's like, what? Unless it leaned in, because the steps are right there.
Now, are these all the same? You think these are all the same size, or are they varying?
They're varying, but they're also, the time is spread out, so it could be one that's grown a little bit or something, if it's a younger one.
Right.
That's the big, huge one.
Yeah, that's the one on the garbage pail. I was saving that one for the last.
Yeah, that measured from, I can't show you, but from the tips down to the bottom, that was 11 inches at least.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that.
Which that kind of blows my mind, because there was a huge Sasquatch standing right there. It was between the garage and the porch. It's where we were keeping the garbage can at that time. So,
right.
Real
and
close.
You can see the hair. That when they pull, you can see the hair strokes on them, and they're very, very, very detailed. And
if you watch the video that I made of it, I took close-up pictures where you can see those details if you want to watch it.
Right. Okay, so we're going to move on to the new stuff. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of you, probably 100% of you, have seen Angie's recent prints on her car and the videos, and I just think this is the biggest thing since the PG film, in my opinion. It's just insane, the stuff that she has. So we're going to start it off. I'm going to play a little video, and then we'll go from there.
I'm actually afraid to leave this overnight because it is so hot. It's already melting.
I mean, you can see the hair.
Yeah. And I didn't even find that one at first. I found the other ones, and I was just like, I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
It looks like they cupped their hand to look into the window. They put their hand up against it and cupped to look in so they could see past the glare.
Yeah. And then
look at that.
I was saying, wow, because I could see the dermal ridges, on the hand. And the
oh
my goodness, hair, it looks like hair.
Oh, yeah, there's hair right there. You can see it right around the wrists.
And then the detail in the arm is unreal. It's like a picture. I mean, it's like looking at their arm. It's so clear, the detail. That
And you
right.
went out and people who didn't see the video, she went out and she found pictures that match almost identical to what she's showing you from a baby gorilla, right? Was that where the
Yeah,
picture pieces
it
are
was
from?
infant gorilla, mostly gorilla, and also I think chimp, but it was mostly gorilla that it matched. Yeah, the elbow, that detail right there in the elbow was just.
It's amazing.
And
it's just simply amazing.
see, there were actually 3 arm prints on the car. 1 on the passenger side, 2 on the driver's side, and there's also a foot on the driver's side, and then what looked like a little tiny shoulder that leaned up against the window, and you could see skin, but you could see hair around the shoulder.
Uh-oh. Your files might... Let me try and get that. How is that possible? Yeah, their files are too big. These are all edited on Premiere, huh? Oh, please, no.
I think I edited those in
Adobe.
Elements.
All right,
they should be JPEG files. I mean,
no, it should work. All right, hold on. What's going on? Okay. Oh, I got one. Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to get the arm prints first, but it didn't let me get them. We'll just keep on. We'll move on down the line.
Okay.
They'll come up. All right. Show this one here.
Okay, yeah, that's the foot. It's not the whole foot. It's like the heel, and what you see curved up at the top is, I believe, the big toe curled over.
Right.
And the part next to the tape measure would be like the inner part of the foot, and that goes up to the leg.
Right.
And
go ahead.
The dots that you see there by the lines are, I don't know what those are. I don't know if that's something unique to a Sasquatch, because as far as I know, nobody's ever seen a print of a foot like that. Do you know of any?
No. No.
So my question is, what are those things?
Right.
What are they are identical on each side. There's at least 2, maybe 4. So what is that? And it looks like part of the, I don't know, the dermal ridges or whatever. It's like built in, so it's not something.
Right, it's not a scar or something that's missing. It's actually part of the foot.
I think it's my best guess, yeah. But I'm really interested to know what that could be.
Maybe a birthmark, maybe of some sort.
I don't know.
It's mind blowing. This stuff is mind blowing.
Oh, and the side of the down by the heel, there's like a patch of it looks like thicker skin. Yeah, there you go. Also, and I forgot to mention this in my video, which I just was so upset. You can see vertical dermal ridges running up the side of the foot. You got horizontal ones on the bottom, but there are vertical ones going up the side.
Oh yeah, you can see them.
Mm-hmm. And I believe there's been casts that show, and it's just in Sasquatch prints, vertical dermal ridges. Humans don't have that, and I don't think apes have that either.
Has anybody contacted you and wanting to investigate these?
The prints?
Yes.
No.
Not one person. It's unreal. I just don't understand.
I mean,
you know why?
Send them to Jeff Meldrum and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know.
Right. You'd have to dust them. You'd have to know how to do that. Do you have a dusting kit and all that?
No. I've tried to do it, with junk I got here, but it doesn't work.
Right. There is nobody in the world that has this. Nobody.
No, I don't believe. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I can't. And I've watched a lot of stuff too, and I don't remember ever seeing the bottom of a foot
No.
print.
And there's no way you can. This could be fake. There's just no way.
No, not that detail. I mean, you can see is it the sweat pores in the dermal ridges?
Right.
I mean, you cannot make that. You can't fake that.
Oh.
No way. And that's in the handprints that I get. It's in the foot that you just showed. And yeah, that's the elbow area on that arm.
Right. You can see the point.
Yeah. You can see I figured out that white smudgy stuff on the elbow is a callus.
Yeah. We all got them. I got a callus on my elbow.
Yeah. And I found a picture of a gorilla infant that has the exact, I mean, it's like looking at a match, the two side by side.
And you can see the hair.
Not in this one, but you can see a skin pattern on the elbow, and you can see the little dots, which are hair follicles, right. I believe.
Let's see if I can find it. Nope, it's too big. Hold on. Yeah, it won't let me pull those arm pictures up for some reason. Got one coming. Now, who found these? Was it you that found them, or did Jim notice them? It was you who found them?
Yeah, and the print that was on before these ones, that palm, it was just little, and it was on his side of the car, and we got in the car to go somewhere, and I was going. He's like, what are you looking at? And I'm like, I think that's a print. So then, I started taking pictures, and yep, sure enough, it was a little palm print.
Did the oil run like you thought it was going to when it kept on heating up?
Not so much on this one. That first one that I found on our garage door that was like this, that one did. I took pictures. You can actually see it, and I guess human prints will do that too. But Sasquatch has thicker oils, and they leave this thicker smudge stuff.
Right.
And it just kind of liquefied after it gets hot. Okay, there's
the muscle detail and stuff. And
I wish I could have sent you those comparisons, but if you watch the video, you'll see me compare it to a gorilla, and it's so close. The muscle definition and everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculously close. And what's the name of that video, Angie? They can go and check that out at.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I forgot.
Wait a minute. I'll have to look because it was kind of a long one. Let's see.
I got another little short clip I can show people while you're looking.
Okay, that's Jim's arm next to it to show size. Okay.
See, that was important. Everybody got a size comparison, how tiny that arm actually is.
Yeah, it was little. The video is called Detailed Sasquatch Arm, Foot, and Fingerprints of Juvenile.
I'll leave all that tomorrow in the descriptions of this podcast. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's an unreal video, and she put a lot of time and effort into it, and it needs to be discussed further than my little podcast, because this is an amazing discovery, and it's huge. These are prints of a Sasquatch, 100% in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know for a fact, but there's nobody in the world that has this, and I haven't seen anybody even come close to. This stuff cannot be hoaxed. This stuff cannot be faked. This is the real deal. These are prints of a Sasquatch. and she shows everything and goes into the extent. It needs to be studied. This really needs to be studied.
And the fact that they were left on glass, so like I can open the door and I can take pictures from behind, and it looks like looking at, well, I've heard some people say in the comments, it looks like an x-ray, or it looks like an actual picture. It's so detailed, it blows my mind that it didn't smudge or anything. It just was perfect.
Yeah, those are the ones it's not letting me share for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's not letting me share them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all the other ones I can share, and those ones I can't.
Huh.
I'll pull up one more here. We'll get up close. Nope.
Yeah, they were all edited in the same.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it won't let me do it. But nope.
Yeah, people can see it all though if they want to watch the video. It's
right. I'm gonna try and pull up one more here, and then nope. That's it. That's all it's letting me share. So yeah, please. That's. I'm sorry. I apologize for that, but I do not know why it's not letting us share. But you guys should go and check the video out. Anyways, let me try one more. See if I can get this one. Nope. That's it. That's all it'll let me share, and I don't get it. But so I apologize. But definitely go, everybody, and watch that video, because she put hours and hours of work into it, and it shows. And it sets the bar. This is what should be shown. If you're a researcher, you're an investigator, and you're taking this subject seriously, that video sets the bar, in my opinion. If you need to show, the sticks and everything, and the structures are cool, yes, but people need to see what's going on. And Angie has stuff going on at her house that is happening nowhere else that I know of. And
yeah, it still blows my mind, the stuff that happens. Well, those prints, I was like, my jaw was hitting the floor, because I mean, I kept getting those palm prints every once in a while, and I thought, I'll never get another one of those. This is the last time. I got to make sure I get really good pictures, because this is probably the last time. And then they're like all over the car,
right.
Foot and shoulder and 3 arms. Like, it was just crazy.
Do you think they have someone watching you while they're in your garage? Do you think they have one watching the bedroom, or watching for shadows?
Yeah, we do. We've talked about that. They probably know where we are exactly.
Right. Do you think there's one that's smart? The like you said, you have the one that's the leader. Do you think that's the smartest of the bunch and runs the whole operation?
Probably. And the sounds, the owl that you were gonna play.
Yep.
We've been hearing that a lot, and it's like, I wondered if that's the mom calling like a younger one back. It's like, okay, time to come back, like they're up here messing around.
Right. And,
yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to play a couple of those recordings for you too. We didn't get a chance the last time to play them for you. I'm going to play one right here for you right now.
So that's, is it done?
I can still hear them in the background. That's communication.
That was what I call the war cry. And then it was answered by that owl mimic. So that's one way we know that wasn't really an owl.
Right. It sounded like they were talking to each other. Like you were saying, one was calling to the other, and that's how they were mimicking. They were trying to hide their. But why do you think they can't imitate an owl? They seem to do good with everything else, but the owls they have a hard time with for some reason.
Maybe they just don't try hard enough sometimes.
Yeah. Or it doesn't really matter to them, I guess. Maybe. Let's see. Let's do another
Just the
one
other
here.
night, this might be in my next video. I'm still working on a bunch of audio that I have, but Jim and I were out on the front porch, I think, and a lot of times we will hear geese because they'll fly over a lot here and stuff, but there's ponds that they go to, but every once in a while they'll like get all stirred up for some reason. And the other night we heard that owl mimic, like a couple of them kind of talking back and forth, I think, if I remember right. And then geese went nuts. It's like we were like, what were they doing, hunting geese? They were like communicating, and then the geese went stirred up. So it's pretty.
Do you think that's camouflage for their voices? Do you think they're trying to mimic what's in the area, that way they can get away with it?
Yeah. And maybe it's for other, like, geese or whatever they're hunting.
Right.
But I don't know if that would really fool animals or not.
Right. All right, I'm going to play another one for everybody. Play it again.
I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Now, to be sitting on your front porch and that coming out of the woods, it'd just be like... That's
a lot of times it's not even like in the woods. It sounds like it's in the field between our house and the woods. It's dark, but some of those were really close.
Do you guys ever feel that you're totally adjusted to this happening at your house? You're totally, or you still uneasy once in a while?
Oh yeah. I have this thing where if it's dark, I don't especially like to go around the side of the garage that goes from the front to the back porch. It's real close, and they're in there a lot, and I think they hide in those weeds right there. So I get kind of creeped out. I don't always want to walk through there. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I go through the house. So,
do you think that has something to do with them showing themselves to you because they sense that fear when they're close by, and maybe they don't want to scare you, and that's why they don't come out?
Could be.
Yep.
But I mean, I've gotten a lot more ready for it, I think, if it does happen. But I've seen them. We've seen them like several times, glimpses and stuff. And I've seen them on the FLIR that I had several times. It's just I've never had that where I could observe and give you details of what I saw, which is what I would like for that to happen. But we've both seen stuff that was just quick glimpses, blur or something.
Right. They are fast. They're fast.
Mm-hmm.
They're fast. All right, I'm going to play another one for everybody. Now that's the classic whoop right there.
Yeah. And the best one of those I ever heard, I was walking out back. I didn't have a thing with me, not a phone, not a recorder, nothing. Walked down over the hill, and I actually saw a footprint walking. The field was half mowed, and I was walking in the part that was mowed, and then walking through the grass down into the woods was a print, and you could see where something walked. Go down there, turn left to walk along the edge of the woods, and I heard the loudest whoop that was so clear. I mean, it was just startling. It was so loud. Right there, right behind me. But I kind of chickened out and I turned around and walked back up the hill and went home. I didn't have a single thing with me at all. Not a penknife, nothing. So kind of wish I had turned around and looked now, but.
How many interactions would you say you've had with them without having cameras or anything over the years? Thousands?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. I don't know how many, but like the time I communicated with that one after they left me the ball, that was a back and forth verbal communication. And they, from the woods.
Right.
And of course I wasn't recording or anything then, but it was one of the most fascinating things that's happened.
Well, you should fill everybody in on that. I don't think most people, never heard that.
Well,
if you want, I mean.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. It was morning. It was real early morning, and it was. I don't remember if I was going to work or not, but anyways, I went out to check. I think it was kind of dark, and they had left me a little super ball, like a multicolored little ball, bouncy. So I was all excited. I went in to get my camera to come back out and take a picture. And as I went to pick it up, then I heard a woo, kind of a soft woo, come from the woods back there. Like there's a hunting trailer and then the woods start. And so I picked the ball up. I walked around the house over to that edge of the yard closest, and I was talking to him and telling him I loved the ball. I was like doing this with it, saying because I'll communicate that I love something if I'll hold it to my heart or whatever and say, oh, I loved it, it's pretty. And then they answered again with that same woo. And so I kept talking, saying the same stuff, and they did it again. So they did it 3 times that day, and it was like a back and forth. I felt like I talked to a Bigfoot. I was pretty excited.
Yeah. It's like it was a personal interaction. There wasn't like a whoop like people are thinking. It was like a caring. It was like a
it was like a soft kind of
yes. Yeah.
And one
That's
time,
awesome.
This was way back when everything first started. I can't even remember if I was documenting yet, but I was standing out at the kitchen window, or the sink's right in front of the window that goes to the backyard, and I heard this sweet little woo like that. It was just really close. I couldn't see anything, but it was just like woo, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. It was just.
You can feel the tone. They're letting you know that they care about you, and you're part of what they got going on, and that's totally, I totally understand. Questions in capital letters for everybody who has questions for Angie. How about the big guy? Has he had any personal interactions with him that haven't been caught on camera or anything special?
Yeah, he was coming home from, I think it was work one day, and coming down the driveway, and he saw one standing down at the tree line. And I mean, you couldn't see a lot of detail or anything. He saw a dark figure standing there, and he looked down to get his camera, his phone, to take a picture, and it was gone. And I don't know if you remember the time he was mowing, and I was either in bed or sitting on the couch, and I got a text from him saying, "What are you doing?" And then I said, I'm in here laying down or whatever. Well, what had happened was he felt something hit his back. He was mowing right back in the backyard. So he turned around and looked, and he thought he saw me standing right there by the porch, looking at him. So that's why he was like, "What are you doing?" And And I'm like, that wasn't me. And
Oh, wow.
then it was gone. But pretty sure a smaller one was up there and threw a rock and hit him in the back. And not long before that, I'm pretty sure, this is funny, he was sitting on the front porch, and I snuck around the house, and I was throwing little rocks up on the porch just to mess with him, you know.
Nice.
I'm thinking maybe they saw that.
And copied you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nice. Do they have a favorite thing they like to do? What's their most favorite thing they like to do?
Oh boy. Lately they've been like that hit or whatever. We've been getting that a lot. They like to match. Like when they bring me a gift. A lot of times they're showing me, like in the next diary, there's at least one example of that, where they bring me something from wherever they find it, and they'll put it with something that I've had out, and they'll match it either color or shape or something similar. And it's like they're showing me, here, we found this, and it's just like this thing that you got. So that matching similarity thing, they like to do that a lot. And for a long time they were into magnets.
Right. I remember inside of Jim's truck too, and I remember all that. And that was totally awesome how you researched and you found out what that sound was, because that was pretty amazing to find out that there was a magnet. That sound was a magnet on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
It's kind of like, this is kind of, I don't want to sound like I'm boasting, but it was almost like I felt like I kind of taught them about magnets, because it's like I'd put them out, you know, and then they'd play with them, and then they would like stick them to this and stick them to that, move them around and bring new ones. And it's just like they just started learning and loved to play with them then.
Right. No, I agree with you. They watch. I got a question for you. It's a great question. What's your favorite gift ever?
Oh, probably that thing that looks like a tomahawk with the bell. I think I showed that on one of the two interviews I did with you. But it was a stick with a slit in it. And they'd taken a bell off of a cat toy that I left on the gifting log out back. They took the tail off, and they took that stick that had the slit, they put the tail in there so that it was kind of like a rattle looking thing. They left that on the bench out back, and they also put a rock right beside it. So that's probably my favorite. If I could only keep one thing, it'd probably be that. But there's so many things that they have given me, that this blue, kind of an aqua color blue pieces of rock or whatever. I don't even know what that is for sure, but those are really awesome too. But there's just so much.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And you keep track of it all, and that's just amazing in itself.
That last stick that looked like Jim exercising, I kept that even. I try to keep everything.
Well, do you think they have? I have a question. Do you think they have gifts for you, and do you think they have gifts that are meant for Jim?
It seems like lately they've been giving him stuff. I think. And he thought that was pretty cool that they were including him in on it, you know?
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, I got another question here. Angie, are you feeding them or leaving out treats?
Every once in a while I'll go through a thing where I do, and the last week or so I've been putting some fruit out, and they were taking it. And there's kind of a whole story along with that, where they would eat it or eat one Actually, I'll tell you I left 2 plums out, and finally they took them. They were gone. And then a day or 2 later, they brought the pit back and put it on the bench where I'd left them. So I figured they were asking for more, or, saying, hey, we like that. Here's the pit. So I put more out, and they took them. So,
Right.
Yeah.
How about oranges? Did you ever have any luck with oranges? Because my guys never took oranges.
I think I put some out, and I don't think they did.
Yeah, no, they would kick them around. You would find them 40 feet from the area, and they would never eat them. They didn't like them.
And what was weird, too, is I put out green apples, and they put out red apples and yellow. I don't think they ever took the green ones for a long time, because I don't know if they think they're not ripe or what, but
they're sour. They're bitter. I think they got a preference, because I remember we put the Granny Smiths in the tree too, and they left them there forever. And that's how you know that you don't have animals coming up, because you learn certain techniques to try and play. You play the game with them, and then you know that it's not a deer coming up, and you know it because a deer is not going to leave a Granny Smith apple for 3 weeks and let it rot away without eating it.
Right.
And if it's a Sasquatch area, no other animals coming in, guaranteed. Because those apples would stay there till they rotted.
Well, see, that's what would happen back at the gifting log where I first started doing stuff. I would take apples back there and stuff, and nothing would bother them at all until, then you'd find it just gone. Or the time, or I think it was twice, I found a half-eaten apple with huge tooth marks in it up in the knothole of a tree, and that's not gonna happen either.
Right. Yeah, no.
So, and I don't think a raccoon would eat a plum and leave the pits on the bench where where they ate it, or bring it back. So there for a while. I mean, I figure I'll put it out if something else gets it, fine. But if something happens where I can tell that it was a Bigfoot, then that's cool. But it can get confusing sometimes if you don't know if it was something else that took it.
Right. That's why you got to play the games. That's what singles them out.
Yeah.
Have you ever found prints on your windows or doors of the house?
Oh yeah, definitely. I found that juvenile. It was on the inside of the garage door that goes from the garage to the outside. So it was in the garage. I think it put its left hand on the glass and turned the knob and went out. So there's that we found them around the doors. I found footprint on the porch. It was like a 10-inch one. Had the bulbous toe and everything. Of course, then there was the ones on the back porch where they brought that spring. That wasn't too long ago. Put it in the slinkies. And there were prints all leading up to it.
Right. So obviously they're not hiding from you anymore. They're just getting more and more, and they don't have to sneak.
Yeah, they're getting a little more open, I think.
I think you're close. I think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get it. What you were asking for. I think it's coming.
I hope. I mean, if it continues on like this forever, it's still good. But
you're ready. You're ready, because it does. It's like and I hate to say it, but if you experience this stuff enough over and over again, you get the rock throws and you get the gifts and then it's just like, okay, come on, guys, let's go up to the next level and come sit down and have dinner with me.
It's so exciting, like when they just hit the house or whatever they did there.
Right.
That's exciting. But then you're like, why don't they just let me see them? It's so frustrating.
Right. It wouldn't be cool if they just came up and tapped on the window, tap, 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 and you go over there, you hand them a candy bar out the window, and then they go away. That would be like the best thing in the whole world.
You know what else I don't understand is there'll be people like get on Sasquatch Chronicles, whatever. Oh, the Bigfoot was standing at my window looking in, and I looked at it and saw it forever and stuff. And it's like, why doesn't that happen to me?
Right.
You know, why don't they let me see them?
I really think because I think that fear has something to do. I think they, you got that. Everybody, I'm afraid to see them. When they're close by, you get that adrenaline push, and I think they sense that, and I think that's why they don't want to scare you. They don't want to.
That could be.
That's what I think. That's just my opinion on it.
Because that one night that Rick was here, and we were up on the hill, and we had the FLIR, and we were watching a black dot back in the field, and it looked big, and it was, because we did a comparison. Rick went back there, and it was at least the same size as him, which is 6 feet tall. But he walked down the hill and left me up there because he went to get something, and I was standing there watching this thing through the FLIR by myself. And it starts coming towards me, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And it was coming fast, and it was going like this, and I was like, I had to make a decision. Do I stay or do I book it out of there? And I chose the latter. And I left.
I think most people
was recording, but it wasn't. The button wasn't pushed. Ugh.
Right. Yeah,
So
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
All right, we got Bama's in the house tonight. Hey, Bama, do they bring you food? Have they ever brought you food?
Yes. Yes, they've left crab apples, walnuts many times. They've left, what are those things called? Hedge apples. They've brought them several times. I don't know if that's food, if they consider that food or not, but what else?
How about worms?
Oh, they brought mice. Yeah. No worm. Well, I found a squished spider that was really pretty on the back railing one time. And I think I've seen like woolly worms. They may have given me a woolly worm, but my earthworms.
I've always wondered about worms. I've always thought I was going to leave them for them at the rock sometime by like couple dozen. I wonder if they'd eat them. Because, if you're living in the woods, worms are very high in protein and, they're edible. I know it's disgusting, but I've always wondered about
if
that.
They kind of dig in the trees or whatever for grubs, which is
right,
that kind of like a worm.
Yeah.
So it could be. Yeah. I don't know if they would eat those or not.
All right, let's see. I'm sorry if I don't see everybody's questions here. They're going so quick past me. I'm trying to get them all. Okay. I have a question. Rob Osborne says, apparently they like garlic. Have you tried this, Angie?
I have a couple times, and they never messed with it. They never took it.
I have to agree with you. I tried garlic at my area, and they never touched it. Never. They sat there and rotted.
Never any interest shown in it at all, which I was surprised because I was thinking like everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember I left rose petals out for them, that kind of herb stuff, and they loved that. They took them, but they never touched the garlic. All right. I just want to say thank you again for taking time out of your day, Angie, to come and
well, I've enjoyed it a lot. So.
Share your experiences. Yeah, I always love talking to you, and I'm a lucky one. I get to talk to Angie on the side too, and very thankful to have their friendship. Her and Jim's. Jim's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
they're great. They're great people, and
well, we've really come to like you a lot too, Chris.
Nice. Is that on the Christmas card list now?
You're definitely on the list.
All right. We won't say what list, but you're on the list. All right. We're going to take a couple more questions, and then we're going to let Angie get on with her night. And if you guys all missed it, the beginning of the show, something came up and slapped the side of the house or threw something at the side of the house. And it was pretty awesome. And That was a Discover Sasquatch first.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time you were on, they were doing something too. What were they doing the last time you were on? They were on the porch.
Messing around at the back porch, I think, with the slinkies.
Yeah, they came on the back porch. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing like this. And I could see Jim, that mirror in back of you. I seen Jim get up when something hit the house, so it wasn't Jim.
Right. Yeah, he was right here.
Yeah. I can see you, Jim. I seen you. I wish you would come say hi to everybody, but he won't.
Say hi, Jim. Come on. No.
Come on, just come say hi.
You could just say hi. You don't have to show your face.
Nope.
He's shy.
That's all right. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you so much. And again, people, Angie is 100% Sasquatch. Her research is amazing. Her investigating is amazing. And you always hear people saying, "I don't have one living in my garage." Well, guess what? Angie has them in her garage. She's not sitting down to dinner with them yet, but I have a feeling that it's coming close. And these prints that she's gathering need to be studied closer. Also,
really cool.
I'd like to share something before. Whoops, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, before we go, oh, where did it go? Angie has a website, and it's called Angie's Nature Photography at smugmug.com. If you guys don't know, Angie takes some amazing pictures, and you can go on there and check them out. And she's actually going to start. She was talking about putting glyphs on there and maybe start to sell prints and everything. And you should really go check that out for her. And I will leave that all in the description for tomorrow. So you got any final words for everybody, Angie?
Well, I'm glad everybody that showed up did, and thank you. And you're awesome, Chris. I love your show. Your podcast, it's just one of the best out there, in my opinion.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And we love you guys too. We love everything that goes on at that house. We love you. And we're all one big happy family. And I'm very thankful that you share your findings with us. And
I do want to tell people that I'm not putting videos out as often, but they are coming. I'm just taking more time with it, so I'm not overdoing it, because that messes my health up if I overdo stuff. So it'll be out, just not as often.
Yeah, take your time and just put it when you can put it out. And it's better that way because it's not rushed, and it just comes out better, I think. So that's what we're doing now too. We're not rushing through things anymore just to get them out. Get it right.
Chris just did. I mean, that took a lot of time, and he put a lot of thought into it. And when you do that, you get better quality.
Right.
I think.
Right. You're not rushed, and you're not just putting anything out. You're not putting a hike through the woods, claiming everything's, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Angie. And we'll talk to you backstage. Everybody, okay. Angie, Snow White Bigfoot. What a show. Amazing that lady is. She has some of the best stuff in the Sasquatch community. Nobody can touch it. People need to take recognition of these smaller people that are boots on the ground and are coming up with this stuff, because nobody has this stuff. It's amazing. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Oh, and I wanted to show you, I got my New York hat on tonight, and I just got this t-shirt from Sir Brian Bowden. Look at that. It's a Grateful Dead Sasquatch t-shirt. I'm going to leave the link in his description and his page. Let me see what it says here. BRE Promotions, and he does t-shirts and stuff like that if you guys want any shirts made up, and he's a good friend of Discover Sasquatch too. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. My moderators, of course, as always, they do a great job. They're wonderful. They love to talk to everybody. Please go to Snow White's channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And also, if you would, please go to our channel and like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Every little bit helps, as you know. And we're all trying to show you guys the truth, and it's the boots on the ground that's going to do it. So, with that being said, as Larry would say, get in the woods, people.